CW Productions. Now, this is not a video from Wizards of the Coast, but what I've tried to do here is take the role-playing element and apply it to Magic the Gathering. So what I've done is I've sort of meshed the two games together, D&D and Magic the Gathering, so that you could experience both at the same time. And I did this because in my experience of playing Magic, it's not just like any other card game, but when it comes down to it, it's just like any other trading card game, because of the simple fact that we don't apply the role-playing to it. There's all of this rich lore and canon backstory to all of these, and as Magic the Gathering players in the trading card game, since we don't ever get to experience any of it. So my goal with Magic the Gathering meets D&D was to bring role-playing to Magic the Gathering. And so that's what we have here today. Alright, I wanted to start out basically by breaking down how I decided to go with character creation. Alright, so the basic thing is that everyone starts out same race. We're all humans. I have not created alternative races or feats or anything like that, because the character sheet for MTG meets D&D is much more simplified. Basically take all of the battle mechanics from Magic the Gathering with the cards, everything, your full deck, and apply that to D&D. Replace all of your battle systems with a Magic the Gathering counterpart. So the way that I created classes was we start out with 4 basic classes, just like the original D&D. Those 4 classes are Warrior, Cleric, Wizard, and Rogue. Each class has its own individual specific feat that can be applied in battle, just in the game in general, as well as their own requirements per your deck. The way canon goes in Magic the Gathering is that you yourself, the player with the deck, are a planeswalker, and everything you have in your deck is potentially spells you know, as well as the mana you draw from them, instant sorceries, creatures. All of that is basically defines who you are as a planeswalker and as a player. So this plays very heavily into creating and choosing your class. Okay, let's start off with basic attribute points. Each of the 4 classes have their own base set of stats that you don't pre-roll for, but that are predetermined based on what kind of deck you have, and the spells that you have in your deck sort of mold the sort of character or class that you would generate. For instance, a warrior class is a creature heavy deck, very creature heavy. I mean, I'm talking like less than 15% instant or sorcery spells, primarily creatures. Alright, and that's the warrior class. High in strength, high constitution, and their feature is +2 attack, meaning that a warrior can attack just like any normal creature. So on the battlefield, a planeswalker who is a warrior with their base HP would be a 2, 22, that's power and toughness monster on the battle. Okay, and let's go over the Cleric. The Cleric class is going to have a lot of enchantments, totems. I see a lot of white decks as potential Cleric decks. And their feat, their once daily feat, is a 1d12 of healing. They basically get a hit die that they can use anytime they want to. And they can also direct that healing to anyone that they want to. And clerics have a high constitution and a high base strength and intelligence. Wizards, very, very spell heavy, lots of sorcery, instants, and a low creature count. You have a lot of, pretty self-explanatory, right? And their once daily is draw 2 cards, which they can use at any time, whether in battle, not in battle, etc. But that's a once daily. And their high stat is intelligence and wisdom. The final class are rogues, and rogues basically are a mix of colors. If they don't fit into any other category, if they're not particularly creature heavy, if they have just as many sorcery spells as they do creatures, for instance. I said a mix of colors. A lot of black decks end up being rogue decks. Sometimes even creature heavy ones end up being rogue decks rather than a warrior. The feat that comes with rogue is the rogue's feat is basically enhanced insight, where they can check for traps, examine what I would call magical devices, which I understand would fall normally in D&D under Arcana, but in this case, we still need to make rogues. We still need to give rogues their own particular edge. So having this special insight into traps, disabling traps, determining magical devices, etc. Even picking locks, for instance, be the same thing. I'll count this under the same feat, which is not a once daily, but something that they can roll on all the time. This initial dungeon that I've created for MTG meets D&D is reminiscent of the very first D&D dungeon that I ever played, where we faced off against a bunch of orcs and a gelatinous cube. We were hunting down a unicorn that had special healing powers, killing spiders, rats, etc. However, being that this is MTG meets D&D, we are operating in the Magic the Gathering universe, or multiverse. Our very first, the tutorial dungeon that I have set up, which is the one that you'll be viewing episode 1 of today, actually takes place in Zendikar. And it is the search for the Eldrazi monument. What I wanted to do with this tutorial dungeon was to make it very basic, sort of a shorter dungeon than some of the homebrew campaigns that after or if this game picks on with other people that they might create themselves. What I wanted to do was really create a first campaign, a first dungeon that encompassed all of the possible scenarios that might arrive in a D&D type situation / MTG situation that will really help people nail down the mechanics of the game and help blend the two to perfection so that we can all have a really fun experience. This base group that we are doing the first episode with, we have my wife, Heidi McKinney, playing Wendelin, who is a warrior, and her creature-heavy deck is full of angels. Wendelin is from the plane of Zendikar, where we're actually starting out. Then we also have my friend Matt, who is playing Darth. Darth is a rogue. This is a new deck for him that he's trying out as a rogue. And joining us for the very first time ever in a tabletop role-playing game, as well as first time playing Magic the Gathering, is Matt's daughter Jasmine. Her character's name is Sakjo, also a warrior. Both of their characters are from the plane of Ravnica. And of course I, Kelly McKinney, will be your GM, I guess your game master. Seeing as how I created it, it'll help put the deuces up. Right. Okay, so the three of you have been commissioned, all separately, but you'll be working together, by a group called the Hedron Field Purists. You guys are in the plane of Zendikar, which is ruled by the Eldrazi, and the Eldrazi are ginormous, legendary creatures. The people in the plane of Zendikar think of them as gods, but they're really just aliens, and they are the devourers of worlds. They devour whole worlds. The Hedron Field Purists, being Hedron Field, the Hedron Fields are basically ginormous monuments to the Eldrazi that you can see from space. And so the Hedron Field Purists obviously worship the Eldrazi. Now the Eldrazi have recently arrived in Zendikar, and they are laying everything to waste. So even those who were recently devoted to Eldrazi are looking for defenses against them. And so you have the Hedron Field Purists. They are level 1 on the map. They'll be represented by this dice with the level number facing up. And they have hired the three of you to retrieve the legendary Eldrazi monument.
Does that involve nacho bites? Because that sounds really awesome if it does.
What involves nacho bites? These? No.
Yeah,
They don't.
come on, can't this guy hang?
So, Hedron Field Purists, and you guys all... The Hedron Field Purists bring you guys to an enormous cathedral. And they tell you that that they believe that the Eldrazi monument is located in here. And the place has been locked away for years and years, basically because ever since the Eldrazi arrived. And you guys, so when you guys step into the first room, it is a very large stone room, and there is a very dark hallway set directly in front of you that kind of dissipates into the dark. And to your left there's a door. Also in the middle of the room, as you can see here, is this stone monument with an inscription on it. And the Hedron Field Purists tell you that this is definitely the place. So,
sorry, out of character, but can you get more peace for us?
I sure can answer her.
Okay, just a little bit of insight for you, since you're not used to this. Anything that you think is going to be important for the three of us to know at any point in time, write down on your piece of paper. You know, that you got to, one of the important things to remember is take notes. I mean, you're going to have to remember some stuff as we flip the board over as we go on.
So we're going to call each other by name on my thingy?
My name is Jen Bell.
My name is Sakajo.
What's your name?
Sakajo.
Sakaja?
Sakajo. Means Eliminate. Hey, it's a good name for a warrior.
Mine is Sith for Dark Soul.
What?
Sith for Dark Soul. Genvel.
Did we decide that I was gonna have the same name as what I have on the online game?
That works.
What's your name?
Gwendolyn.
Hey, Javini. How do you say your name? Jamel?
I remember your character to play is chaotic good. Genvel. Dark
Jamel.
Soul.
I love Jamel.
You may call me Darth.
You're not Darth Maul.
I'll call you Darth.
And call me
You
Seven.
are henceforth known as Darth.
I charge
And
the
I'm-
door.
I charged the door. I drew a pony.
Don't say that. Roll initiative. No,
I'm gonna see her say that. I'm gonna be like, no saving throw.
I threw a pony.
2d20 on saving throw, right?
Yours is what?
My name is Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn. I threw a pony if I
A
said.
pleasure to meet you, Gwendolyn.
Oh,
Hey, do
A
it.
pleasure to meet you,
Thank you.
Saki Joe.
Second Joel! You got my name wrong.
Don't let this kindness go to heart. I'm really a Sith.
Second Joel.
Okay, moving on.
so am I the only one with white cards this time?
I have green and red.
I have black and red.
Okay, so we get our 7 cards out. Right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, right. And so part of the way we start this is by drawing 7 cards. What the
Well,
thing
are we
is,
searching
you also
through to
you
get a-
search through it first for 2 mana. Everyone starts out with 2 mana.
And just let him explain.
I don't know what you want.
That's your land.
Land.
2 land. 2 land.
What do you know?
I need your help.
You can look through it
I
and
don't know how to.
look through it and find 2 land. Put them out on the.
Remember what we went over the land? They'll say land on them, but they can only be 2 basic lands.
That mountain.
That's land. If it says basic land on it, put 2 of them out.
I'll put 2 mountains.
If you have a 2-colored deck, which you do, I would put a mountain and a swamp.
Definitely.
Okay, I put some down.
Definitely.
Okay, I looked for that. I'm gonna reshuffle my library.
Go for it.
What?
After you look for your 2, reshuffle your library and put the top
How do
7
you
cards.
shuffle cards?
Just shuffle them around so they're mixed in to where you
I
don't know
can't
where
shuffle
things
though.
are.
No, shuffle.
You can make piles like I am.
Yeah, that's what she's been doing.
Then I don't bend cards.
Done it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to shuffle when they're in the sleeves.
Yeah. That's
No,
half the reason
Daddy,
why I
she
don't
don't
have
bend
sleeves
the
on these.
Shit, I'm gonna call
You can shuffle them, we can always...
Davina. Javelin.
Chevelle.
Javel. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Chevelle's just fine.
Javel. I just call you Darth. It's easier to remember.
Yeah. Which one is Darth?
Darth.
I changed. Notice the new artwork. It's not just a torn up box now.
Ooh, it has a lion on it.
I
And
drew
the dark
hallways and such. Yeah. Alright. But yeah, so you guys have the action. Like I said, super high
Who goes
ceilings.
first?
That's important for flyers.
That's one of my 2 big dogs in here.
It's not a go. When in the role playing world, until we're actually in battle, we don't take specific turns. You guys are all actively working as one.
Oh, so I'm gonna go.
And the only time we take a specific turn is in attack rolls.
Everything you do and say right now is
As a group.
as though you were standing in this very room. Because
Just
that's
like,
where
see
you
how
are.
we're grouped up with us here with
Yeah.
the purist with us? Okay. We talk amongst ourselves about what we want to figure out about the room,
Right.
what we want to see.
And to which the purist says, you guys, I'm right here.
Yeah.
You see, because you're all in the room with the purist.
Okay, well, the first thing I would like to do, I mean, should we consult with the purist, right? We should
Yeah.
probably consult with them and see what this room actually holds in front of us. So
Yeah.
what do you think?
I think we should read some.
Okay, do we want to have the purist do it, or do we want to try to do it?
Read our purist.
Okay, good call. I think I'll go with that.
And the inscription is so old, they are having had a lot of difficulty reading it. What they can tell is that geographically, they know we're in the right place.
Sorry.
There you go.
I have a proficiency in religion, so I feel like maybe I should try to read it. And so can I roll?
perception checks.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
The old bandage off. But I'm just not sure if I want you to go fast.
I'm a paladin.
I'm just trying to remember which check it's going to be. Does it say over there, baby?
Religion's under
under
yeah,
intelligence.
Under intelligence, make an
in,
intelligence check.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, never mind. I'm not familiar with this religion.
I'll try to read it.
Is it one of those lost ones?
I'll try to
Well,
read
it's
it.
Eldrazi.
I'll try to read it.
Well, she already did our rule for being able to read.
Go ahead.
Dang it.
No, right. Go ahead. Make an intelligence check. You just don't have the modifiers. You know what I mean? Or the proficiency bonus.
I got 12.
A 12. Okay.
So you have to look where it says INT and see what your modifier is. You don't
Oh, I
have a
have a modifier.
modifier for it, then it doesn't give you anything more than that. But that's farther along than what she got on hers with the modifier, so that's good.
Right.
12. Okay. You make out the exact same thing that the Eldrazi, that the Hedron Field purists say. You read enough to know that you're in the right place, and it says Eldrazi, and somewhere along here it also says caution.
So would this thing unlock something down the road, maybe? I mean, should we use it as that? Should we use it as unlocking something? Because I was gonna use my feet for use magical device.
It's not a magic.
It's not available to use in that. Okay.
No, you have to have proficiency in the language.
Right.
And it's written in old Eldrazi script.
Okay.
I think. Should we?
So,
I think we're gonna
with a
probably-
useless inscription,
And we've already consulted the purist.
I was gonna say, do you think we should walk through
Well,
Do we want to
there's
check
a
the room
doorway
first?
over
Did we
here,
already talk
but
about that?
yeah, we haven't looked at anything except for the useless inscription right now.
right now it's useless for all three.
Right. Because nobody can do anything with it, so
You're the only one who didn't make an intelligence check to try to read it.
I've only got a +1 modifier on it. You guys think I ought to try one?
Yep.
Could unlock
Hurt
something I
anything.
could use my use magical device thing on. Yes, it could.
You know even less than they do.
Yes, I'm a great rogue. This is why you call me Dog.
You got 7 though.
That's
That's
like
better, right?
72.
Hey,
I know, and she did better than you. And
Oh, I should pick up my
what was yours with your intelligence roll?
12.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what's really bad? A warrior can read that better than either one of us.
And his name is Sanctuary.
Yeah, secretary.
Are you all done?
Done.
Yeah, good enough.
Are you all done?
So what's the next course of action? Like
I
said,
think
there's
we should
the dark hallway before you, and there's a door to your guys'
go the dark hallway. That's easy thing to say.
Well, should we maybe look around, see if there might be something in the room that can help us decode the inscription?
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the wall and look at the
You
walls.
guys are going
We're
into
gonna-
the room.
Yeah, into this. Are we going into that room or checking this room?
Boom.
I think there's just one room
There's
right
just
now.
one room in this one.
Okay.
I didn't draw a wall on there.
Oh,
because there
well,
was
no,
reason to put the door.
no, yeah.
All right. So you guys enter the room, and two.
Do the purists stay with us or hang back?
They hang back into the doorway, just kind of peering into the door. And what emerges from their bedrolls are 2 canyon minotaurs sitting around a fire. So everyone roll initiative.
Remember what initiative is?
H.
Yeah, you just roll. You'll roll a d20.
Just a d20.
Oh, man. Okay.
17.
I got 20.
Wow.
And it's
That's
just charisma.
20.
Charisma modifier for.
Charisma modifier is towards initiative.
So I got 12 plus.
22.
So I got
I got
22.
+2, so I had a 19. Yeah.
And so you got 7 maybe?
6.
5 plus
5 plus 1.
1.
Ouch. a lot better than my 2 did.
Even feel appearance.
Ain't getting nowhere with a 2.
Can I do something? Should I charge towards Minotaur?
With my
No,
we gotta see
this
what
was
the
our initiative to see who starts first in battle.
Oh, me?
So now you're going to start first on your combat phase for
Exactly.
your stuff you
Pick one
have.
of these.
Did you get any of your cards out? You're supposed to get
I do like 7 cards. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
these 7. No, you're learning. It's good. These will be in your hand. You can look at these and figure out what you want to do with them.
I want to.
But keep in mind, you have 2 mana to play with.
I want to use something.
But you need
Do
to
you have-
read.
have you
Don't
finished
just go off
Initiative
what
Roll?
Yeah, I sure have. Yeah.
Don't mess with that right now. We don't need that right now.
Well, I got 7 cards.
That's actually 2 cards. You can choose one side or the other if you have enough. Yeah, you know what? How are we going to play this in the game just the same way as it's always played? It's a fuse.
No.
Hey, DM.
Go ahead.
Doing his stuff. Are we going to play fuse just the natural way? Where you can pay mana cost for one side or the other, or both if you have it.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
You want to play with us?
Eventually.
You can watch. You can help Mama. Okay.
Can I use one of my cards? The
There's
monster?
just not a lot of
Yeah.
space.
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to.
Nolan, no.
One second. I'm trying to figure out what cards.
These cards.
Ooh, sorry. I'm gonna use a gutter like nip. Gutter nip?
Do you have? No.
Gutter nip on the on the Minotaurs. Could I do that? Could I do that?
You don't have the mana for it. You need 3 mana.
Does she understand the mana?
Well, I went over it, but whatever. Remember what I said? Whatever's up here.
Oh, so I can pick one.
Whatever's up here. Now listen. See how that has those 2? You have to have 2 of those at minimum to play.
Dang it, I don't have
See,
any.
now that's where you have to watch this, and then when you play something, you have to read it. Because creatures are cast different than sorceries, sorceries are cast different than instants, and instants are cast different than...
But I guess I can use this because I got one of those, both of those. It's the only one I can use.
You need to tap both
That
your
would
mana.
actually be really good, too.
I use this on the
That's
Minotaur.
excellent.
You
got
gotta.
this.
Well, you need to...
Move this up here for a second. This right here, because you're going to be...
Yeah, I use it.
And this basically would set up your field. The front row here is going to be where you put all your creature cards. And your mana, you'll sit right behind them. When you go to pull out a card, you've got to tap the number of mana.
You only
tap
put your
things by
creature cards
turn.
out once you're playing.
As you play them, they stay in your hand until you can
Oh,
play them.
I didn't know. Sorry.
That's fine.
No, I'm saying, but as you play. So you can tap these 2 mana, you pull this out, and this has haste, which means it doesn't have summoning sickness, meaning you can attack with it right away.
Okay, good.
Okay. And it's still your action.
Do I use it on the...
We're gonna attack the Minotaur. Okay.
And when you attack something, you have to tap it.
Right. You tap it. You tap it sideways. And they both. This does 3 damage and has 1 health. This has 3 damage. I mean, this does 3 damage and has 3 health. They'll both die.
Yeah, so basically you sacrifice that, but that's good because that eliminates
So,
one
do
of
I
those.
turn it over like that?
Nope.
No, you put it over here in a graveyard.
This will be your graveyard right next to your
And
dead.
you can put it face up because sometimes if your card's wet, you can pull stuff out of your graveyard, put it in your hand,
and then
or
it's
put it
easier
in
to
your...
see it.
Okay, so I put it like this stuff?
Yeah, those will stay like that until it's your turn again. Then at the very beginning of the step, you untap everything.
We'll let you know.
So I can use mana later.
Yeah, your mana is permanent.
Next is map.
Okay, let's see.
Mystery machine. Let's see.
So we do mana and everything like this stuff too, right? This is mana also on this, or do we start with just the 2?
You start with 2 and
Do I lay down? Can I lay down a mana now? Okay, I didn't know if we needed to burn a turn on that.
Nope.
Couldn't remember.
Oh yeah. You just start out with 2 mana because you're planeswalker. You have to be able to do something in the very beginning. You can step into a dungeon and before you ever hit initiative, and you can actually play cards, get hit with an instant. Nolan. So. See, watch your deck. So you just tap 2 mana. Those 2 mana paid for that. Oh.
Your heart sounds great, stuff.
Okay. Earlier I heard you say that it takes 2 of one of these, but
No, I was showing her out of her hand.
I know, right.
Nope.
And does that have haste?
No haste.
Okay.
It does
No
have
biting.
an ability at the
No
bottom
biting.
though of 1 green, 5 colorless, and it's +3/+3 till end of turn.
Yeah, and you bit me.
And
That's
Hedron
naughty.
Field purists are going to stay right where they're at. They after they've seen one person smash down the first Minotaur, they're not afraid of the second one.
I think he's trying
So-
to get a selfie.
No, it's-
Okay.
Thanks, Doc.
Oh, you can pull stuff out of your deck.
Yeah,
You draw 1 card at the beginning of the turn.
Yeah, every time your turn starts, you get 1 card.
Oh, I didn't.
But you can't have more than 10.
I'm still worried about
Right, and then you have to start discarding cards. Same thing goes for mana. If you have more than 10 mana on them,
No,
if
no,
you do, you'll start
no.
losing health.
Okay.
Get over it,
Just have
son.
Arbor Elf here. So,
That's it?
yeah.
Okay, and another thing is that if after the monster's waits 3 turns, no more summoning sickness for the DM. It's kind of the thing because it's like otherwise I'm just waiting. They're just waiting for it to be killed themselves. To
Yeah,
be killed.
but you
It
don't
doesn't
get to
make
do
any
anything,
sense.
yeah.
Right? It doesn't make any sense.
Wouldn't give an
They don't-
opportunity for the dungeon
they
to
don't-
strike back.
And the thing is, then they don't pose any threat. Then I'm just giving you guys a number of turns to get out the monsters, to lay the battles, and everything else. Okay, so the Minotaur lashes out at Sock Joe for 3.
I'm gonna block that.
For 2.
Nope, you're not until it gets back to your turn. You leave all that around.
And it is now.
Okay.
And if you have a mana, you can lay it down.
Right, if you have a mana,
You're a warrior. Your hit points are 22. Okay.
yeah, your hit points are 22, and you can also attack as you are yourself or a creature. As if you're yourself or a creature, you have 2 attack.
Well, you
That's what
gotta.
I'm saying. I'm saying you or yourself are a creature. So if you wanted to attack the Canyon Minotaur, you would take 3 damage, but you would do 2 damage to it on phase 1.
Okay, they attack the Minotaur.
Okay, take 3 damage.
So now you're down to 19.
Where's the...
Just
Just
erase it
erase
out.
22 and write down the 18.
What?
Okay.
She doesn't want to watch Doc McStuffins right now.
Yeah, right now, baby. And, okay, so
Sorry.
the 2 Minotaurs get squelched. And
How did the... Oh, did you take the last one?
Yeah, I took it.
she's a warrior, so she attacked for 2.
Right, I thought it had 3.
It had 1 left after the initial attack.
When she hit it, she automatically took the damage, but her hit.
And then he blocked
I blocked
this,
the
the
2
2 damage, and made
I
it a
see.
3-1.
I missed one. That's right.
What was your hit point at?
Mine had 22. Yeah, after last time.
Guard.
No, she's a warrior.
She's still a warrior class.
Yeah, she
Okay,
hasn't
cool.
changed her deck.
That's good for me. There you go.
She's
I got
the
2
same
22
stuff.
hitters.
Yeah. 2 22ers. Okay, so like I said, yeah, the Minotaurs are squelched. The purists feel very safe with you guys. And what you see is there's two bedrolls on the ground, as well as an old stamped out fire. Looks like it's been out for a couple hours.
Remember the videos we were watching from AI where they were talking amongst themselves? This is that part where we're at. We talk amongst ourselves and figure out what we want to do with those bedrolls.
Should we open them to see if there's any clues inside them?
Maybe search them.
Okay, I'm gonna search one of those bedrooms.
Yeah, and there's nothing inside the bedroll. Dust. Some of that.
Would that be this? No, you just searched one, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go check the other one.
Same thing.
Okay. Is there anything special about the fire? Does it have like a magical glow about it, or is it just typical bonfire?
No, it was just a fire. Looks like it was just a fire for warmth.
We should search the wood though. Search underneath the wood door.
Does this room have windows?
Nope.
Maybe there's a key underneath the wood.
Is the material the same kind of material that first room?
It's like
was made
potato
of?
cloth. So, oh yeah, oh you mean the walls?
For
Yeah,
the
same,
room,
same
for the,
stone.
like the texture and everything.
Same
just the
stone.
same.
Yes, absolutely. Very much so. Same stone.
Okay. So was there anything else that you could think?
Do you want to search the fire?
Why
Maybe
would you
there's a
search
key.
fire? You're gonna burn yourself.
It's
Get
out.
yourself
So
on
it
fire.
looks like you said it looks
It's
like it's been out.
been out. It's been out.
Oh,
So you
okay.
undo it and see what's underneath. I will see if there's any keys underneath there or something.
Well, it's just a fire.
If you're gonna do that, you can say I'd like to search the ash pile.
No, I searched the house.
You gotta be descriptive about what you.
Well, this sucks. There's nothing in this room. Why are we in here anyway? I just took
Hey,
half my...
we just proved that we can take stuff out.
Yes, we did.
Took out 2, 3 threes without a problem.
Can I check the bodies?
Oh, you got
Yeah, we can.
I checked the bodies for like any clues on them.
Okay.
Honey, can you help him around your camera, please?
I sure can.
it.
Make make an get off my shoe.
Check.
I searched the bodies for any...
Or is
Do we
that?
have to do strength checks because they're Minotaur?
That's right.
Right,
You have to do-
strength
that's
check,
right.
yeah.
You need to do
So
strength
it'd be a
checks
strength
just
modifier.
to turn them over.
So it'd be a +3, I think, for you for your modifier. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, honey!
Ooh, that was awesome. What'd you roll?
6.
6 plus 3 is.
9.
9.
Actually, technically, you gotta burn it. It fell off. I don't know if you saw it.
9.
9.
She got a 9 on her strength check.
6 plus 3, 9. And you just kind of struggle and plop.
My.
Come on, bird bones. What are you doing?
And you just kind of flip it over. Is that what you roll for?
No, I haven't rolled for it. I'm gonna go ahead and let her, since she's got a +3, roll first.
No,
Oh, there's 2 minotaurs still.
No.
Get your hands off.
Let this rogue show you how to lift a minotaur. Jeez.
He wants to be up here with you, Mommy. He doesn't want to be down terrorizing things. You didn't know that? Oh, it's going to be really hard to hear this on a video.
I understand.
I have to show these warriors how to lift something up.
Yeah.
So
What'd you roll for, sweetie? What'd you roll, sweetie?
5 total. 2 plus 3 modifier. Yeah. 17.
That's what I thought. There we go. Like,
Plus
you just
1
kind of kick it
modifier.
over. You just kind of kick it over.
See, now that's how you flip a minotaur.
Well,
Let her
okay,
roll
now we
do
know.
it. Okay. And did you find anything when you flipped it over?
And one of them drops an explorer's scope.
Alright.
Good thing to check this room, at least
I'm
that
gonna
one.
put that in my pocket. Okay, so just so you guys know, do you need to reread the Explorer's Scope? It says, whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped.
Okay, can
and
I
it
see what
costs
it
1
does?
colorless.
I want to spell it, but what's wrong?
Write that down on that kind of paper.
Let me check that. I
I'm
want
gonna
to...
write it down on this.
Okay,
And that goes in your pocket.
just going to put Explorer's Scope down.
Yeah. But now is that in my pocket or do we share a pocket?
You kicked the Minotaur over.
Yeah.
Well, I'm weak.
So would that count for both of them, or do we have to separately roll for each?
What?
Do we separately roll for each, or did that count for checking them both?
That was for checking one of them.
Okay, I want to chip one. I can't go for the other.
Please get higher than 9.
Strength check.
Wow.
That's an
Plus
11
3 is
with your
11.
modifier.
You struggle, but you get it turned over on its back, and it has nothing. It's old. It's the axe that it was wielding is all old, chipped, rusted.
So do we think there's anything special about this room? Do we just think it's like a boarding quarter for him?
Yeah,
Or
this
like a quarter room?
basically what it looks like is that these two guards, these two candy minotaurs were guarding something. They must have been on watch, hence the explorer's scope.
Right, okay.
Alright.
I say we move back out.
Let's go to the dark room.
Well, do either one of these two rooms have torches?
Yeah, but it's all well lit.
Okay.
I want to go down.
Well, I was thinking maybe torches we could take for this dark hallway.
Oh, can I charge toward the dark hallway?
Well, I want to find out if we can get any torches to take in there, so that way we don't have to charge blindly into something and maybe get beat up if we can't see it.
Yeah, you guys each take a torch then. You go right down.
Go right down the guy's torch.
Your equipment and character notes.
So while our torches are lit,
Can I go first? Run towards the hallway?
oh well, we gotta. This is where we're all three on the same page. We gotta just see what we all want to do. I'm good for going in since we all three got torches. That ought to light it up really nice. So it's whatever you guys want to do.
Heading towards the hallway.
What do you think?
What?
Let's go.
Hallway?
Hallway.
We charged the hallway, not blindly anymore because we have torches.
Okay, and you guys realize when you get into this hallway that the only reason why it was as dark as it was. Oh, no, sorry, I knew I had this backwards. There you go. Now it actually connects from the hallway. Ta-da! Okay. You guys realize that the only reason it was so dark ahead of you was just because of how long this hallway was. Light was lost in the distance. Okay. When you guys get to this hallway, it's also very well lit. Torches all along it, and in front of you is this giant reinforced steel iron rod door.
Torches out.
I put my torch out.
No, you have to declare that you put your torch out, otherwise the DM might think you still have it lit and it can go away.
I put my torch out.
So, now we have a well-lit room, so we don't need torches. We got that door that's in front of us. Is it like a magical door or just a regular old reinforced iron door or something?
Why don't you check?
I charged the door. I charged the door.
Saving throw. Saving daddy call on that one right there.
No,
We're
I
not
ju-
charging the door. I'd like to check the door for magic abilities.
I charged the door.
Considering one of my feats is use magic device.
Well, I charged the door. I'm gonna charge the door.
And you hit the door and fall down. I'll just tell you that.
And that is going to be a wisdom check.
Yeah, okay. Oh, if it wouldn't have fell off, that you see that? That man.
Okay, you're jiggling the door, and it's
The
definitely
+1, so
locked.
it'd be a 5.
It's definitely locked, but still, you don't think that there's anything magically. You know, there's no.
It's enough of an
still
intuition
doesn't
for me
seem to be-
not to know that I'm not using my device.
Because you grabbed and jiggled the handle, and you didn't explode, so you're like, I think we're safe.
Does the door have any kind of like a glow to it or anything, or is it
Nope.
just like a?
It's just heavy,
Like a heavy door. All right. So
and it's locked.
is it ornate?
It is.
Okay. Is there any inscriptions on it? Possibly?
No.
Okay.
Now, the
I pick up the.
same symbols that have been on the walls of Kini stones and Eldrazi monuments are inscribed on the walls, but that's nothing new to you now. The art's all over the place. Nolan.
Alright, so you guys want to check out around the area or something?
Can I check can I go this way and you guys, like, you two go that way? One of us will be me and one will
I
be
guess we can split up, but
I
I
go that
don't
way.
know if that would you stop and talk with the rest of your team instead of
I'll go
making
that way.
solo decisions?
Alright.
Sounds like chaotic good. I'm still on your side, but I'm gonna go this way.
I'm just gonna wait over here in the lit corner while you go into the dark room.
Let's try to find a key a simple way, you know, maybe.
Well, let's see if she thinks it's a good idea that we split up or stay together because there are two sides.
You want to split up or stay together?
I always like to stay together because if we don't know what we're gonna face, we just face 2 Minotaurs. We don't know what's farther than there. And
And it
right
did
now,
take me to
I've got an
sacrifice
Arbor
something to
Elf.
save you from getting hit.
I've got an Arbor Elf to save me if something, you know, sneaks out, and that's not going to last very long. It's a
I'm a
one-one
Darth, I
creature.
can save myself.
I'm gonna second you.
I
You're
mean,
what now?
I am a warrior like you are, so I can attack for 2, and I do have 22
You're a
life.
lawyer?
A warrior.
Oh,
Come on now.
I thought you said
And,
I sure do.
but still, I
Nolan, save it for
so
You guys really get along.
yeah, I'd say we stick together. Sorry, majority rules. I don't care. It's up to you guys. Whichever way you wanna go.
Right way noise, best way. Never go left.
okay.
Let's go the
I
right
don't
way.
know. Sometimes right ways have traps.
Well, let's just go the right way.
Let's go the right way. Which way is it? No. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make the turn to the right.
For a celebratory girls' lunch, complete with the
It's over here. I should have asked. There's no doorways. It's just open hall, right?
I'll check up on my own.
And you guys see a door to your left, very much like the door that you guys first encountered in the first room.
Could I check
Same
that door
construction.
for magic abilities also?
Sure, make a wisdom check.
You too, Fabio. Hi, Toby. Hi,
Got a 1, Dad.
That is sad. I'm sorry.
Got 1 more.
Okay, as you go to like examine the door, 2 Minotaurs burst out of it and it hits you in the face, and you take 2 damage.
Darth.
Roll initiative.
Oh, what a, that's a face.
Right? That's a natural 1, right?
Yeah, it's a
Okay, that's a critical. That's a critical.
fail.
Yeah, that's a critical
Why
fail.
did you do that, Darth?
Critical failure.
You know what?
Let's see.
I never said I was a smart guy, okay?
Well, I didn't have said I was smart second you.
Roll initiative.
I got 18 plus 1 is 19.
So, no one else's stuffing has ever touched this paper.
No, my mom used
So we're doing initiative now, right? 13. I got 15 for my initiative.
You can keep your dice, you know.
Look at all these supplies.
No.
Well, I do.
Well, then roll it if you got one. Roll, wait, no, he's there. He's got to roll.
I don't know.
17.
So what's your modifier for your wit?
For charisma.
Or charming?
Plus 2.
Plus 2?
Yeah, for CH.
You have a 19 then.
For CHA. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you have a 19.
So, who's next?
So are they the same Minotaurs that we encountered before, you said? You said Minotaurs came out and hit me in the face.
Yeah,
they
they
broke
sure
my
did.
nose or something.
2 damage exactly.
Yeah, so are they still there or did they just take off somewhere?
No, now they are actually out in the hallway in front of you guys.
Okay.
They've charged the door.
You stole that. You stole that, right, Trick? Yeah.
They have charged the door.
Okay, I'll help you.
She can't get through, the barriers are up. Oh, and the light's off, honey. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go after one of them.
Let's see. We have to find out who
let's
goes
figure,
first.
Yeah. She got a 19, so I'm pretty sure.
I did too.
You guys both got a 19. Alright, I got a 15, so I'm not really
We both
sure.
got 19.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so and you guys both roll again, real quick.
I need a dice.
Okay.
12.
5.
I want to start by getting your height and weight.
Okay,
That beaver.
sweetheart, Heidi, you go first.
No intention. No, I never miss a costume change. You were wearing it before.
So DM, you never told us your name in the game.
I don't want to.
Hayden Phil Pierce.
That's your name?
I don't have a character.
Okay.
I get to play all the NPCs. I'm Hayden Phil Pierce.
Right now you're 2 Minotaurs.
And 2 Minotaurs. And I'm gonna be a bunch more things trying to kill you later.
I noticed how you said trying to kill you as you were talking to me, so
Try to kill you collectively as a group.
I have a couple of shields here for
Try
you,
to kill
okay?
anyone that would dare challenge Eldrazi.
I
Pikachu, I choose you.
No, I have because you guys want
Sorry, I'm
cards.
distracted.
I should have brought it. Maybe
Okay.
one of those.
I wonder if the Eldrazi ever visited Mos Eisley Spaceport. I would say they did. They had some Bangwood Chim type thing that was hanging out there. It must have been an Eldrazi.
Okay, this is all I can do right now. I brought out another
Well, you
Arbor
have
Elf.
lots of mana, don't you?
And this mana gives, I'm gonna give my,
You're looking at
Arbor
your
Arbor
Elf
Elf.
+1/+1 till end of turn.
cards here.
No,
Don't
protection
put your
from
face
red.
up. You don't want him to see him.
Okay, protection from red. Gotcha. Okay.
Your hair is amazing.
I
Gems.
have anything for my dad. I don't really have the mana to use it.
Well, I think
Sock Joe's turn.
Second to.
I can't do
Um,
anything with it.
Forgot to roll. I'm
just do it now. You're gonna want to keep your red with your red and your black with your black.
So I got 2 red. Thank you. I choose trouble.
You need to read.
Wait, what?
Will you be okay for a few minutes while I talk to my mom? Hey, Mom. Do you have a minute? Sure, hon. What's up?
your son's coming around.
Say ready.
I don't know why.
Let me help you.
You might play here for a second. I just,
Remember when you didn't like
you
it?
just anywhere.
I hope so.
No. Didn't work on finding the right style for you. You finally found your pigtails.
Okay, never mind. I changed it. I choose gutter snake.
You don't say, on this one, you don't have to say what you choose until you cast it.
I choose gutter snake.
Hi, Mom.
You gotta pay your mana. So you're gonna tap all your mana.
All the time.
Not tap it.
Oh, this one I didn't use it.
You have to use it because it's 2 colorless plus a red.
No.
So this red went towards that right there, right?
Yeah, this one did
mountain
too.
went for that.
This one
So
did too.
this went for one of the other 2 that's there. If you're not gonna listen,
No.
Two colorless and 1 red.
So a total of 3. It's
yeah,
a total
well,
of
3
3.
mana, and just know that it's played right now.
So I can try other styles with my hair?
And
Of course.
If you concentrate, you wouldn't.
I love my hair too.
That probably ain't help.
You're kind of learning 2 new games all at once.
yeah, sure.
It's a lot.
Okay.
I tried to drink.
And so now it is Matt's turn.
Yeah.
Who?
Your dad.
Darth.
Darth. It is so Darth's turn.
I'm sorry.
This sounds really poppy.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and stop that puppy down.
Hi, Mom. Sorry, hon. I meant to go to the room.
Oh, red. I'm sorry. I'm bored. Away from my dad.
I love her hair. She is beautiful. Can I do it by Sam? Can I play with her? Of course you can. Thanks. Doc, I'll meet you at my party desk in a few minutes. Okay. Did you hear that, dude? She wants to
Oh,
play with
yes.
you. Yep.
He's
And
coming
she
out.
likes my new hairstyle.
I am tapping a green and a red for the initial cast cost of Savageborn Hydra.
Early for you now?
I'm also tapping another green and another red
You
to
got
give it a +1/+1 counter
Why
on it.
did my attack?
So it is now a 2/2.
perfect. My hair is.
Which means
So
It's been ripped from another plane to this plane of existence, so it's like drowsy.
Perfect order.
It's
I
like
can't do anything yet.
it's like
Somebody
if
said-
Harry Potter got nauseous every single time he had the
It's not quite over yet. It
Could I
is.
see one of those
After.
You
counters?
have at least one
Huh?
straw
Could I see one of those counters?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. This dude is gonna start getting pretty good.
Working on.
So this one is now a +1/+1, so it's a
We
1
put those down
one.
there at the end.
Laser spike.
Okay.
Thanks for taking me skating, Mom. You're getting good. It's a real workout just keeping up with you.
I can't really do anything with that one right now other than block, so. You already
I was first.
Monster's turn.
And Hedron Field Purists are going to disengage and move out of the way. And Monster's turn. Okay, so Matt, the one that came out and popped you in the face, is going to go right back at you. The other one is going to attack Jasmine.
3, 2, 1.
So Matt come at you for 3. Jasmine come at you for 3.
I'll try again. 3, 2, 1.
Can you hear it?
Ah,
She has healing spells
I
in
don't
her deck
have-
somewhere.
I mean,
I don't have anything right
but
now.
you do have the ability later in the
Yeah, I've got that.
Is that the same one we were playing with the other day?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna absorb the 3 then,
Mom, I'm back in the
rather than block with that guy.
this guy has 2.
So I would be down to 13.
Right, so your options, unless you have a spell that you can cast that will negate damage, would be either to take 3 hit points or to sacrifice your creature to keep from taking damage.
That.
And goes back to
So
win
one of
the-
those are down to 1 now then? One of those are down to 1, I guess, for her too.
actually
My days of soaring through the skies and my rocket ship would be over.
And if I remember right, even astronauts keep their hearts in their.
because when
Right. Wanna listen?
Gutter Snipe came out, it did 2 damage to each opponent.
So that
So there's
one's
only
down to
one
1
left.
also,
It's a
right?
3-1.
When Carlos was playing with
Okay.
me.
Okay. I am going to.
Straight up murk that fool!
Yeah, just kind of go
It's so funny, you get all gangster on me.
Just touch him.
So please be careful.
Okay.
Never fear, Doc. I will drive this flight straight.
Yeah, kill that thing, would you? It hit me in the nose.
Thank you, helpful hippo. I'll do a special trick just for you. Star Blazer Zero.
Shoot.
Zowie, owie.
Are you okay?
I think so.
Okay.
But I'm usually a fantastic pilot.
When this land comes onto
I
the
think it's time for a
field, I get +1/+1 to a target creature, and
One Zowie microsecond.
I don't want to lose my
Are you sure I'm the
Arbor Elves yet, so I'm going to go ahead
How
and
did you give a rocket fight
use my
this
giant growth.
We have to find
So
someone else to give it a test run.
this Arbor Elf is
So,
now a
5/5.
5/5, and go ahead and take out that.
Alright, Minotaur. Alright, nice.
You killed it in the face. You killed it in every face it can have. Nice shot.
I just,
So-
yeah.
And you guys go ahead and move into the room to check it out after you destroyed your Minotaurs.
Is it kind of like the same setup as the last room?
And it is. It's exactly like the last room. There's
Except this fire is
really
lit.
nothing different, except for this fire is lit. Exactly. These
there
guys
any-
were awake when you
Is there like a magical glow to the fire? or
Nope,
anything,
it's
or
just regular fire.
typical
It was just there for warmth and for light.
cooking or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I.
So how about the bed rolls? Could I roll the check for them? Check them. That would be perception, right?
That is going to be, yeah. Let's run with perception.
Ooh, 15 with the, for the +1.
And actually, that's going to be investigation intelligence. It's going to be an intelligence check.
Still, okay, it's a +1 too. It's still +1, so it's 15.
15. It's just a bed roll.
He's gonna. Sorry. I thought he was gonna trip over the cord again.
Kicking the book. Just a bed roll.
My turn?
Yeah, I forgot all that Minotaur dust all
Do
over
we
me
need
for
to
nothing.
check the Minotaurs now?
Are you guys gonna lift him this time, or do I need
I'll
to
lift him.
again?
Sounds like a good idea.
I was just
Strength
kidding.
check.
So we may need your help. We'll see.
Let me get ready here.
Let's do a strength check.
I need it.
Sorry.
Seriously? I got 3.
Okay, plus
You
3 would
rolled
be 6.
6.
Okay. There you go.
She got a 6 for
Mm-hmm.
Minotaur.
So I split in
Which means she didn't get it, right?
Right, yeah.
And that's a 9 plus
12.
3 is 12.
16. Let me just get this. Let me get this.
So 12's not enough to roll him over at all?
It is, yeah.
But there's 2. That's alright. Chicken arms. I'll get it for you. Skin and bones.
Okay.
I'm a fat guy. I can pick it up.
Generate.
Okay, so the of course I got it. So the one you kick over has his hammer is valuable, and he also has folded up inside of his jacket a collapsible kite sail. In yours, you get a second explorer's scope that you get to add to your pocket. He must have been the watchman, and what drops out of his pocket is a little miniature, and you have no idea what it is right now. It just looks kind of like that creature, and it's about the size of your thumb.
Good.
So,
Do I put these in my pocket?
Yeah, those go in your pocket.
When they're in your pocket, you don't have to pay mana to...
You don't have to pay mana. You still have to pay mana to equip it. You don't have to pay mana to play it on the field. It works as an instant. Something you just whip out of your pack. But yeah, it goes in your pocket. See, and now, just a technicality when it comes to the difference between things in your backpack and in your pocket. Things in your backpack, you can't use during battle. If you were to, it would require a roll and a skill.
right.
Things in your pocket are magical, are always going to be represented by a card, and are most likely not your primary color, allowing you to play instantly without the mana cost.
Which this one just so happened to be red, so that's alright.
Yes, exactly.
I have red. Is my turn?
Let's go over here. Come on, kiddos.
Well, we gotta talk about what we're doing with this
What are we
one.
gonna
We should
It's
blow
the
it in
same
fire.
setup and everything.
We blow it in fire. See what happens.
I don't think we need to bother with fire. It's up to you guys. Whatever you guys want to do. I think if it's lit, whatever, it's just a little extra light in case torches go out.
We could have played something like
We
that.
can always relight our torches with it too. Because remember, we all put our torches out, so now we're going to have to relight them somehow. If we need them.
But the hallway we're entering is
It's
still
already
lit.
well lit, so. I don't know why we, and what we would put the fire out with.
Maybe they.
The bedrolls
No,
that'll catch
blow
on
it out.
fire.
Blow it out.
It's a bonfire. It's a big fire where they keep warm and put food over, so you're not going to blow it out like that. I would say not. That would be probably a question we could ask him.
If you want to put out the fire, you make a dex check.
Do you want to put out the fire? If you want, I'll do a dex check since I have it. Do you want me to try to put it out since I have a higher modifier?
Oh, it's working.
Okay.
You guys both get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Go on,
anytime we
shoot.
need to do something as a group
Go
as
on,
a dex
kiddo.
check, I will probably take first roll since I have a +3 modifier.
Get your hand off of
I'll
that.
take a 3 extra points. If it's a strength check, you guys will be the ones that's in the
I think we should walk out and go check the other room over here.
Well, they have to go through this hallway to
Stay
stay
over
on
there.
that one. So yeah, I'll
Stay
stay
over there.
Have you tried this? Have you tried the remakes here?
Yeah.
I think we're ready to go back into the hallway.
Okay. Anything else gonna hit me in the nose? Or is presumably it's the same thing as the
Spider
other
comes
hallway.
out. Captain, they know.
Yeah, and sticks you and
Now wait a
get
minute.
your
Now
first
is there a
poison
drow
counter.
attached to the spider or what?
no, no.
Right.